Welcome to yet another edition of Roo Pre-Recorded Live. I am Lisa, and I am the marketing and account manager for Roo. We are a revolutionary veterinary relief online platform. We are changing the game, and we are so excited about being able to give veterinary professionals a whole new lease on life. And we've been having these conversations for the last couple of months talking about why Roo, why relief. And we've been talking to veterinarians, we've been talking to techs and people involved in the industry. And we felt we would be remiss if we did not include the voice of the vet student, because these are our future veterinarians. We don't have a profession without these little newbies, up and comers. So today I am so thrilled to be having a brief but very informative conversation with Miss Katie Zimmerman. And Katie is our intern. We're so lucky to have her helping us out, especially right now with everything going on in the world. So to start things off, Katie, who are you? Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your journey to veterinary medicine, what year you are, what you think you want to do when you're all finished. Take it away.
Sure. So first of all, thank you so much for having me. This is super exciting, and I'm having the best time ever working with Roo this summer. It has been extraordinary. So just to kind of give a little bit of a background on me, I'm from the Dallas area, Dallas, Texas, and I grew up kind of with the cliche story of always knowing I wanted to be a vet. I really didn't ever have a second option. I didn't have anything to kind of fall back on. It was I was going to be a vet or I wasn't going to do anything. So luckily, I'm in vet school. I made it here this far, so that's amazing. I didn't really have a lot of experience with anything vet related until I went to undergrad. I got my Bachelor of Science in Biology from Midwestern State University. And during that time, I got about 2.5 years of experience in a small animal clinic, which is it was literally like 2 doctors, 3 or 4 techs at one time, and like 1 receptionist. Like, it was pretty low key. And that was basically all of my experience of veterinary medicine before vet school. I luckily somehow got into Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine my first time. And so I just finished up my first year. And so I'm officially a 2VM, which sounds amazing to be able to say. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I've been told that if you can make it through your first year, like you can make it. So like, I feel like I can almost see a light at the end of the tunnel, not quite yet, but I feel like it's almost there. So I'm super, super excited.
That's amazing. And like, it cannot be understated. It is harder to get into vet school than like anything else. So it is an accomplishment. And I think any vet student or recent grad who is watching this is going to be like, yeah, like by the skin of my teeth, I made it in. So
yeah,
it is huge. It's absolutely a big deal. But
thank you.
along with those huge aspirations and really big deal, we all talk about huge financial pressures. So for anyone who's watching this who is not familiar, vet school's really expensive. And there are, I can't remember off the top of my head, something like 30 accredited veterinary schools in the entire country. There are fewer vet schools than there are states in this country. So there are all of the Katie Zimmermans of the world who want to be veterinarians who can't get in because there's just not even space. And then once you do get in, you have to pay for it. So tell us a little bit about like the financial pressures of vet school. What kind of costs are involved even beyond room and board?
So I actually went straight to the source. I just went to A&M's veterinary website and I looked at the fees. So as of this last year, the first year, usually like it increases a little bit every year with the in-state tuition at A&M, which is first of all really low compared to most vet schools. It's about $25,000 to $27,000 in just tuition. So I know, I say that number, it like literally gets me like a little heated just like thinking about it, because it's like, that's a future Katie problem. It's not like a present Katie thing. I just kind of take out the money when I need to and throw it where I need to deal with it. But yeah, I mean, like you're looking at with vet school, it's usually about, for me, I know myself, like I put myself in a range of about $150,000 to $200,000 of debt graduating. And that's honestly to me, average, if not low. Like I've heard of people with less than that who like have, like they've had their whole life planned out somehow. Like they had the money for that, but that's not really common. And I've heard some people who have over $400,000 in student debt. So yeah, like just like thinking about that and the fact that like I know for A&M, we're able to get out to $20,000 a semester. So to think like 12,000 of that is immediately gone, like that's going to tuition. That leaves about $16,000 a year to live. So that is everything from tuition to books to food to like taking care of yourself whenever you need to. Like there is just a lot that goes into it. So yeah, like the financial side of vet school, and it's crazy because like nobody goes into this, like thinking that they're going to make like a lot of money, but we're also not going into this thinking that we're going to graduate and be basically paying a mortgage but without a house, like it's crazy to think about. And so like we come into this profession because we love animals, and like like obviously like I'm going to stick with that and I stand by that, but at the same time, like yeah, the financial pressures of graduating vet school and like kind of dealing with that when you do graduate, it's crazy. It's really daunting. Yeah.
So obviously this is a widespread issue. You are not the only vet
Yeah.
student who has dollar signs dancing around behind your eyes when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So does vet school prepare you at all? I know, you'll have to remind me if A&M has this. I know some vet schools have dual MBA, DVM programs if people are really wanting to get into the business side of it. But like even at a basic level, do they make an effort to help you land on your feet because they know how much they're charging you? they know exactly what the costs are involved. So
right.
do you feel like they're preparing you to be financially stable when you graduate?
So I think that they do everything they can to try to make sure that they help us with that. But there's a lot of it that's, I mean, it's not going to really be able to be explained to us until we're out there living it. So, I mean, we do have classes where we work on our resumes and when we work on like contract negotiations, but a lot of the stuff that we do learn in vet school or is kind of presented to us is in the grand scheme of how you're going to be able to sign a good contract, how you're going to be able to go out and find a clinic that you feel secure enough that you can sign a 1 to 2 or however many year contract that you want with this one specific clinic. So while they do everything they can, it's definitely, I feel like you either are going to go and you're going to specialize, so you're going to be trying to go for like a residency or an internship, or you're going to sign a contract. And that's kind of like, until Roo, I didn't really know there was anything else. Like,
hey, you just gave me like the most perfect segue into my next question. It's like you've done this before. Did you know what Relief was? Had you heard of it? I know when we have talked to anyone, even outside of the profession, they're more familiar with this in the human world, human nurses, human doctors, locum doctors. But did you know that Relief Vet or even being Relief Tech was a thing?
No, not at all. I mean, I haven't really, it might just be because I hadn't really thought about what I was going to do beyond vet school. And so I didn't really go out and look for it. So that might be it. But also like, yeah, I was aware of it for like the human side of things. But when I Googled Roo and I like learned about relief work, I was like, oh my gosh, like this makes so much sense. But before that, no, I had no idea. I didn't think that was possible, especially because the clinic I worked at, like we didn't do relief. Like you were hired full time or you were hired like part time, but like you only worked there and that's what you did. So no, like I had no experience with it. I didn't even know it was a thing. I really didn't.
And see, this is why we're doing this. You are doing
Yeah.
service right now. If there is anyone who is watching, if you have your friends who are watching, relief work it's a very literal thing. You are providing relief for the staff. So if a vet calls out or a tech calls out, they contact Roo. Actually, they don't really contact us. They just log on to their little account and they post it. And they say, we need a veterinarian from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They will be doing surgery. They're going to see, 5 to 10, 30-minute appointments per day. They're going to have 3 techs working with them. And then the vets or the techs log in and request that shift. And then they go in and they work for that day. We had a great conversation I've lost all track of time. Maybe it was months ago. I don't know. Could have been weeks, could have been a year. We had a conversation with one of our fabulous relief vets who she said her favorite thing was the variety, because she'd worked in a regular clinic for a long time, and then she started working relief and was like, oh dang, like I can walk into a different clinic every day and I can experience new people and new clients every day. And that's a whole new concept, and it kind of runs a little bit counter to what you guys have had kind of pounded into your brains, which is graduate, sign a contract, and have a steady job. So now, having been with Rue for a couple months now, has it already been that long?
Yeah. I know, right?
Do you view relief in general, or even specifically with Rue, as a viable option for students? And this is a two-part question, so pay attention. Not just for vet students who have graduated and become veterinarians, but also for vet students who maybe need to make a little bit of extra money while in vet school. Is that something that you think is a viable option now?
Okay, if you would have asked me 3 months ago, I would have been like, heck no. Like, what are you talking about? I need to make sure I can make this much money to pay this much loan. Like, I need to know for sure what I'm gonna, but like now working with Rue, I realized that's possible. And also I can have complete control over what I do, where I work, who I'm with, like the type of experience that I'm getting. Like, it kind of helps to remind myself that like I can have control over something. Cause like, I mean, we know that like the veterinary industry, like there's a lot of like struggles right now with like dealing with things like compassion fatigue and burnout. And I mean, like it's kind of, I think it can be kind of correlated to the fact that like we do graduate and we basically sign our life away, and that either works amazingly and you love the clinic you work at and you stay there for 30 years and then you retire, or you get put in a situation where like you just don't really click, but you have a contract. So you're going to wake up and you're going to do the same thing every day, and that's just what you're going to do. But like with relief work, like it kind of gives you it gives you the opportunity to be like, you know what, I really liked this emergency clinic that I worked at today. That was something that, first of all, maybe I didn't even know I liked emergency medicine, but I signed up for a shift. I went, I love this clinic. I love this environment. I'm going to work there again. Or it's going to be, there were a lot of cats I dealt with today. And I don't know about y'all, but like, I'm tired of getting scratched up by cats. I'm not going to do it. And you can be like, you know what? I'm not going to sign up for that. I'm not going to sign up for that clinic again. And that's totally fine. And like the fact that you're able to make those decisions for yourself and know that you can graduate and you don't have to like stick to one clinic, and you can make good money, and you can make your own schedule, and you can get varied experiences. Like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, to me, like now that I've heard about it, I'm like, why isn't everybody going out and just kind of testing the waters and putting, like trying out different things before deciding where you're going to spend however many years you want to spend there? And I mean, especially with techs, like, yeah, that's a perfect opportunity for vet students too, to kind of like learn what you like and what you don't like and the kind of environments you want to work in before you even graduate. So yeah, like the opportunity isn't only for veterinarians, but like being able to do that same thing and to get mentorship from doctors and know, like, you know what, I have a lot of exams coming up. I probably can't pick up a shift for a couple weeks, but once this is done, come like summer, come like winter break, like I'm going to work, I'm going to test out these different places. Like, that's amazing. So yeah, I mean, like for anybody who's out there, like I was not a believer before I knew Rue, but like now I want to like jump on the rooftops and like scream on the top of my lungs, like relief is possible. And honestly, like it sounds amazing. Like it really
I'm going to bring the conversation full circle. You're going to have to, Mike, we found a kitten a week ago and he's currently, we'll bring him on camera. We're talking, he's been yelling at everyone. This is our thing.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to bring the conversation full circle, because you're talking about being able to try and experience different things, and being a new veterinarian who maybe doesn't know what you like, you also get to come out with Rue and get paid like you've been working for 10, 15, 20 years. Our pay scale isn't different if you are a new grad versus if
Yeah.
you have been working forever. Now, that could change in the future. We're still a new company and we're still, figuring out what works best for each region and for each, sorry, everyone. I have to tell you guys, I was reassuring Katie at the beginning of the saying, don't worry if your dogs start barking, it's totally fine. Meanwhile, it was my cat who caused the problem.
I love it.
But yeah, you can come out of vet school, and if you see a shift that you feel comfortable taking, you don't have to take a shift where there isn't another vet working. So, if you're not a super confident person, I'm going to pass Archer off. Thanks for the assist. If you're not a super confident person and you don't feel like you can roll up to a vet clinic by yourself, you don't have to. If you've only been practicing for, 2-3 months, you can still work relief. You can still have the support of a vet who's working, because, a lot of clinics have 2 or 3 vets. They're still working. They just need an extra relief vet. But that doesn't mean you're going to get paid any less. So you're coming out maybe with a whole lot of debt that's giving you anxiety, but you can suddenly have the option of getting paid more than what most associate veterinarians are getting paid, especially right out of school. So I honestly can't think of any reason not to work relief if I were a vet. Now, full disclosure, I thought about going to vet school and I didn't have any of the prerequisites. I already had a master's degree in something completely different. And I was like, nah, I can do it. I can start over. And the idea of being in school for that long and having to spend that much money for this education was so daunting to me. So it is incredibly fortunate, number one, that people exist like Roo to try and support vet students, young veterinarians, or retirees, any age person who wants to work. But it's so important that people understand that they are valuable, that, if you're coming out of vet school and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like a lowly associate vet and no one's going to take me seriously. That's not the case here. We are going to pay you like we respect you, because we do, because you just accomplished so much by graduating from veterinary school. Like, that is a huge thing. And you may have just finished your first year, but like, we know for sure you're going to be like top of your class 3 years from now. You're going to be a veterinarian. I'm so excited for you.
And kind of to speak on that a little bit too, like I love the fact that Roo kind of, it's on the basis of knowing the struggles of veterinarians and vet techs and knowing what the problem is and then giving a solution that works to kind of solve that work-life balance that we're all looking for. Like, that is what Roo is based on. And I love that. It's not based like on anything but the fact that Roo as a company knows that there is a place in the profession for people to find a balance of work and life outside of signing contracts. And then Roo stepped in and it's been wonderful. Like, it's just like, it's amazing to know that that's even out there. And then that y'all are focusing on the things that we as, people in the vet community, like, we need to focus on. Like, that is so important. And to know that that's such a big value of the company is amazing. Like, I love that so much.
This was a paid commercial just now.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering. I prepped her to say that. I didn't prep her to say that.
No, and I mean, like, because now I've been on like the inside long enough to like know that like it's for real. Like, listening to y'all talk, it's not anything but just wanting to help and knowing that there is a place for it and finding a place for it, and that is everything.
Woo woo, that's amazing. Okay, so perfect, love it. I'm so excited that you have had this experience with us, because that means that we're a very, very small, very new company, and so we've just been in our own little like echo chamber, and we're like, yeah, we know what we're doing makes sense, but it's always helpful to talk to people who aren't part of our teeny tiny insular circle, although you have become part of it, to hear that what we're doing is working. So right now, Roo is only serving Texas, primarily Houston, DFW area, a little bit in the Hill Country. We've got some clinics in San Antonio and Austin. So that means our Texas A&M folks, like, you can get on the platform now and you can be a vet tech now. And if you, in the course of your summer, whenever you're working at a clinic, if you fall in love, hey, you may have just landed yourself a full-time job as a vet when you graduate. Like, there's no harm in getting started now. Folks who are watching us in other states, We're not there yet, but we're coming. We're moving to California next, and we're really excited about that. But it takes time. And so, be patient. You can still bop around on our website. It's www.roo.vet, and I'm going to put that at the bottom of the screen when I make this all pretty so that everybody can see it. Hop around on it. See what you can see. We have blogs. I'm very excited because Katie has written a blog for us, which I think people are really going to take a lot of value from those firsthand experiences. But just stay apprised of the situation, because we got competitors out there, but I can tell you they're not going to care as much about you as Roo does, because all of us in some way, shape, or form have been touched by the veterinary community, and so our goal is to give back. So Katie, you just crushed it. Thank you so much for chatting with me. If anybody watching wants to reach out to Katie, contact us. We'll hook you guys up so that she can read the gospel of Roo. Contact us if you just want to chat with us because you think we're fun and cool. But roo.vet, you can email us, hello@roo.vet. It's so easy to get in contact with us. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your questions, and we want to chat with you. And we're excited. We've just launched some new features on our website. So if you've been there before, but you need to check back in, pop back in, because we gave it a facelift and it looks good. Like, I'm not a braggadocious person, but Katie, you're the bomb. Thank you so much for joining me. Someday maybe we'll get to meet in person. If this
hopefully, right. But thank you. This has been so much fun. Like, I can sit here and talk about Roo for hours. Like, I really can. So thank you so much for letting me kind of have my own for giving me a voice and giving me a platform to be able to kind of connect like the vet student aspect of how Roo can work. And so thank you. This has been so much fun.
You are so welcome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Roo.vet, check it out, and stay safe out there. Wash your hands, wear a mask, 6 feet of distance, and happy rooing.